Hello and welcome to this hypnosis experience for driving test nerves. If you suffer from nerves on a driving test or any kind of test, this video contains a simple but powerful hypnotic technique that will allow you to overcome these nerves and succeed in your aims. This video is especially useful for people who find it difficult to let go, and people who find it hard to relax and to meditate. And maybe those of you who have tried things like this before and it didn't work will find great benefit from the technique contained in this track. It will also work for anyone who finds it easy to go into hypnosis, and it doesn't matter whether this is your first time going into hypnosis or you've done it many times before. So first of all, just get yourself comfortable. You may choose to lie down on the bed, or you can choose to sit in a comfortable chair. And I'd like you now to just close your eyes if you haven't already done so. If you have, which part of you made that choice? When did that happen? Did you even notice? And just continue listening quietly to the sound of my voice. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, I'd like you to concentrate for a few moments on your breathing. Breathing slowly and steadily, just as though you were sound asleep. Or you may choose to imagine yourself pretending to be sound asleep. Just imagine how comfortable you may look, or how comfortable you may feel while you're relaxing and pretending to be asleep, using the power of your imagination and the power of your mind's eye to just see yourself. And as you think about your breathing, just make sure that each breath in lasts the same length of time as the last breath in, and each breath out lasts the same length of time as the last breath out. And while you're thinking about your breathing, I want you to notice, perhaps, the weight of your head. It may be that you're resting your head on a pillow or a cushion. But whatever the situation you're in, just think about the weight of your head while still listening quietly to the sound of my voice. And while you're listening to the sound of my voice, you may become aware that you've forgotten to remember the length of each breath, or even that you forgot to think about breathing altogether. But that's fine, because you can now just think about your breathing again as you continue listening quietly to the sound of my voice. Now, in psychology, there's a rule. It's called 7 plus or minus 2. And what this means is that most people can think of 7 things at the same time, plus or minus 2. So you should be able to think of at least 5 things all at the same time. The sound of my voice, the steadiness of your breathing, the weight of your head, how you might look from the outside, imagining looking at yourself from a third-person perspective. Now that's 4 things. So can you think of those 4 things while you're listening to the sound of this beautiful music playing in the background? That's 5 things now. I wonder if you could think about those 5 things, and then at the same time, notice the way your feet feel, whether you're lying on a bed, or whether you're sitting and then resting on the floor. And also think about how your arms feel. That's 7 things now. The sound of my voice, the weight of your head, the music playing in the background, the way you're looking from a third person, your breathing, your arms, and your feet. And I wonder if that was all of them, or did we miss any out, or add any in? I wonder if you could now add an 8th thing into all of this. I wonder if your mind is powerful enough to think of 7 plus 1 things, adding in perhaps an awareness of the air temperature around you. And now we're going to add another thing in, so there'll be 9 things all at once. That's 7 plus 2. Thinking about all those 8 inputs. And let's add a 9th, and let's make that an awareness of the way your eyes feel while you're thinking about all these other things. The weight of your head, your breathing, the music in the background, how you look from a third-person perspective, the temperature of the room, the weight of your feet, the weight of your arms, the sound of my voice, how your eyes feel, the weight of your head, your breathing, the music in the background, how you look from outside, the temperature of the room, your arms, the weight of your feet, the weight of your arms, the sound of my voice, how your eyes feel. And of course, when anybody thinks of all these things, what they're really doing is scanning them around, one after the other, very quickly, so it feels as if you're thinking of them all at once. And in the world of computers, that's called time sharing. Sharing your available resources between the different tasks you're attempting to perform all at once. That's why some powerful computers can perform tasks much quicker than slower computers. It's why some people can think of only 5 things, because it's a limit of their memory, as with the limit of a computer's memory or processing power, while others can think of 9 things. And I wonder how well your memory's working as you struggle to remember those 9 things. The weight of your head, your breathing, the music in the background, how you look from outside. I wonder how many others you can remember. Did you remember the temperature of the room? The weight of your feet? The weight of your arms? The sound of my voice? How your eyes feel? And now you can think of how good it will feel when you simply allow yourself to think of only the most important thing of all, concentrating all your energies onto that one most important thing of all, which is going to be so easy to think of now that you're going to allow yourself to think of only one thing instead of 9. And your mind is no doubt wondering what that one thing is. Well, the one thing is how good it will feel to think of only one thing. Thinking how relaxed you can be now that you're only thinking of one thing. Relaxing your mind and relaxing your body. There's no need to think of anything at all, really. No need to do anything. Nobody wanting anything and nobody expecting anything, and absolutely nothing whatsoever for you to do except to relax. And as you are relaxed now, I'd like you to take some time to think about a safe place. I want you to imagine a place, maybe in the real world, or from your imagination, anywhere you feel safe. And I want you to picture this place clearly, vividly. I want you to see the colours of whatever is around you. I want you to hear the sounds around you. I want you to feel whatever it is you're sitting on, or standing on, or lying on. You need to feel the temperature of the air around you. And take some time now to make this safe place as vivid and clear as you possibly can in your mind. And I want you to imagine a word, one word, that you associate with this safe place. So make it a word which is quite unusual, not one that you would normally use in most sentences. It can be any word you choose, and just know that whenever you say or think of that word, you can return instantly to this safe place. And before we continue on this journey to solve this problem of driving test nerves, I'd like you to understand one thing. We're all made up of what we call parts. Now, there's no doubt a time in your life when you've had a choice to make. We all have many choices to make every single day. In the way you chose to listen to this audio, the way you chose to learn to drive. And sometimes different parts of us want different things. Let's imagine a time when you've had to make a choice, and part of you wants one thing, and part of you wants another. Those are the parts that we're talking about. And on this journey that we're about to take together, you'll need to think about these parts. So I'd like you to think now about all of your positive parts. Think of all the things in the world that you're good at, all the things in the world that you enjoy. And this can be anything, whether it's being good at sport, or being a friendly person, or being a good person, or being good at a certain skill like video games, or DIY, or cooking, whatever it is that you're good at. I want you to think about those things and just take a moment to see how many you can think of. And now we're ready to begin this journey to solve this problem of driving test nerves, to make you feel calm and relaxed, but still alert when you take your driving test. Now I want you to imagine that in this safe place that you're in, you look around and somewhere you see a staircase. Now this could be behind a door, it could be in the distance, it can be anywhere you choose. But I'd like you to imagine this staircase going down. Now in a moment, we're going to walk down this staircase together. And with each step that you take, I want you to see the step beneath your feet. I want you to hear the step, whatever sound it may make. And I want you to feel each step. So if you're ready to begin, we're going to count down, starting at 10, taking that first step down. And with each step you take, you're going to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. 9, stepping down and going deeper, deeper into hypnosis. 8, 7, going deeper still. 6, stepping down and down to number 5, feeling calmer, more relaxed and deeper in hypnosis. 4, stepping down to 3, and now peacefully down to number 2, and taking the final step, 1, as you reach your deepest state of relaxation. Now I want you to imagine that in front of you, you can see a door. And this door is of a colour that you associate with peace, calm and tranquility. So what colour will that be? And just see that door in front of you. I'd like you to open the door now and step into a room beyond the door. And in this room, all of the floor and the walls and the ceiling is of the same colour as the door you just stepped past. And I want you to take a moment to look around and notice that in this room are all of the parts that we spoke about just. The positive parts, the good things you have in your life, are all with you in this room. Now you may choose to see these parts in any way that's appropriate to you. Some people choose to see them as small versions of themselves. Little people that look just like you. Other people see them as colours, or objects, or shapes. There's no right and no wrong. It's up to you how you see these parts. And I want you to notice how happy these parts are, and how positive and how fun these parts are. And you see them dancing around, playing around in the room, and you may choose to imagine them doing whatever is in your mind. And as you look around this room, you may notice furniture or any kind of objects of your choosing. But as you look towards the back wall of this room, you notice something. You notice another door, but this door is of a colour that you associate with fear and nerves. What colour would that be? And as you walk towards this door, you can see that there is a huge lock on the door, much bigger than your average lock. And it's the same colour as the door. Now I'm going to hand you an imaginary key. Just imagine how seeing a key on the floor at the foot of this door. And you take this key and you insert the key into the lock. And as you turn the key, you hear it click, and the lock falls away from the door. Now you open this door and step into the room, and the floor and the walls and the ceiling of this room are the same colour that you associated with fear and nerves. And this room is empty, apart from one thing. As you look to the back corner of this room, you see something cowering away, hiding in the corner. And this is your fear and your nerves of the driving test. You may choose to see it just as the other parts were, or differently. It's up to you. But I want you to notice now how all of the other parts have come in from the other room and have joined you in this room. And I want you now to talk to this part. We're going to call it the bad part. But you need to understand that really there is no such thing as a bad part, because all parts of you only ever have good intentions. So we're going to talk to this part. Just say hello to it and just see if it responds. Now if it won't respond, you can just keep gently talking to it, or you can choose to imagine that it has responded and just imagine what it would be saying. And I want you to ask this part some questions. The first one is, why do you do what you do? Why do you make me feel nervous on a driving test? And just see what answer this part gives. And if you find this part is unwilling to speak, or you're not sure what it's saying, just imagine what you think it would say. And I want you now to tell this part that you appreciate what it's done. That may sound a strange thing, but remember what we said. All parts have a positive intention. So although this part may have seemed to be causing you trouble, there's a very good reason why it was doing what it was doing. It may be that it was trying to protect you by stopping you from driving, for example. Now, isn't that a wonderful thing? There's this part of your mind that wants to keep you alive by protecting you from harm. Now, that may not be the reason for your part, but just continue to talk, and I'll give you some time now to work out why this part is doing what it's doing. Now, I'd like you to tell this part that you no longer wish it to do this job that it's been doing. And I want you to think of a new job you can give this part. You may decide that instead of it making you feel nervous, you'd like it to make you feel more confident or more relaxed or more at ease. It's up to you to decide what you want this part to do. Just continue now to talk to this part and just see if you can get it to agree to do this new job. You may find it helps to tell it all of the positive things it will bring by doing this new job. You need to avoid telling it what not to do, because it won't understand that. So, for example, it's no good telling it to not make you nervous. You need to tell it what you do want it to do. So you may say, I'd like you to make me feel better. I'd like you to make me feel more confident. But focus on positive instructions. And I'll give you a few moments now to do this. Just talk to the part and just persuade it to have this new job. Now, at this moment, one of two things will have happened. The part will either have agreed to do this new job, or it may be reluctant to do so. Don't worry, if it's reluctant. You can just leave it where it is and do this again another time when you've had time to think more about this. But let's assume that this part is willing to change. I want you now to walk out of this room with this, what we called the bad part, which has now changed. And it's now joining in with all of the positive parts, all of the good things, and all playing around with this part now. It's become one of them. And as you leave this room, you notice the walls and the floor and the ceiling changing colour now, changing to the same colour as the other room, the colour you associated with calmness and confidence. And as you walk out this room, you close the door behind you, and something happens. The door now changes colour, so it becomes the same colour as the room of confidence. This door now fades and blends in with the wall, so it can no longer be seen. And you see now this part of you that used to be the bad part is now playing and is integrated with the other positive part. And you now feel ready to leave these parts to play in this room as you begin your journey back towards the door that you first entered. And as you reach this door, you turn around and take a look, and you see these parts all playing together, all having great fun, and you wonder where the problem ever was. And you open the door now, and you step beyond the door and close it behind you. And after closing it, you see the staircase again in front of you. Now at this moment, if you like to continue resting, and even fall asleep if it's safe to do so, you may choose to stop this recording now and drift into a beautiful sleep. But if you like to come back round to your normal conscious awareness, we're now going to walk up this staircase, and there are now only 5 steps, and you'll find that as we go up from step 1, when you reach step 5, you'll be fully awake, fully alert, and ready to continue with your day. So we take the first step, step 5, just beginning to feel a little more normal and a little more awake and alert. Stepping up to number 4, starting to become aware of the sounds around you in the outside world. Step 3, starting to feel even more awake and alert. Up to step 2, imagine there's clear mountain water washing out your eyes. And as you go to step 1, eyes open, feeling fully alert, fully awake, and back to normal, with your driving test nerves gone. So I hope you've enjoyed this experience, and feel free to listen to this track as many times as you would like. This will reinforce the positive messages in this track. So I'll leave you now to enjoy your time, as my voice will soon leave you and the music slowly fades. I'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye.